They say power attracts power, but when it comes to Vladimir Putin's ex-wife, Lyudmila Putina, that attraction may have turned into one of the most mysterious fortunes on Earth. For years, whispers have circulated around Europe's elite that the former First Lady of Russia quietly became one of the richest women alive after her split from a Russian president, a transformation so discreet that even seasoned investigators can't quite trace its beginnings. Once known simply as a shy linguist who stood beside Putin during his rise to power, Lyudmila has since disappeared into a world of luxury, mystery, and speculation. Their marriage, which began long before Putin's presidency, was often described as distant and formal, a political partnership wrapped in silence. When they divorced in 2013, in a rare public admission, the world assumed she would retire into obscurity. But what came next told a different story. Soon after the separation, a web of real estate companies, shell corporations, and high-end holdings began surfacing under the names of people connected to her, particularly one businessman who reportedly became her new husband, Arty Okoretny, a man 2 decades her junior. Okoretny's sudden access to massive wealth, luxury villas in France, elite business ventures, and multi-million-dollar foundations sparked rumors that Lyudmila had quietly transferred assets from the Kremlin's inner circle into her post-presidential life. She was no longer the quiet linguist. She had evolved into an enigma surrounded by whispers of hidden empires. Reports have linked her to grand estates along the French Riviera, sprawling mansions near Moscow, and lucrative property investments that seem to appear out of thin air. While nothing is officially confirmed, the timing of these acquisitions and the identities of their listed owners have raised eyebrows among investigative journalists who tried, and failed, to connect the dots. What's even more fascinating is her ability to vanish from public view almost completely. No social media, no interviews, no flashy appearances, just silence, a silence that feels strategic, not accidental. Insiders in Moscow describe her as untouchable, protected by the very networks that once orbited her ex-husband. And in a world where wealth and influence often collide, Lyudmila's story stands as a masterclass in quiet power. No drama, no spotlight, just control. Today, her name is rarely spoken in Russia, but her rumored fortune is legendary, whether through discreet property transfers, offshore trusts, or investments hidden behind layers of anonymity. She's believed to have built an empire that rivals the fortunes of oligarchs, without ever needing to appear in public again. It's a level of wealth and invisibility that few can achieve, and it leaves people wondering, was this all part of a long game, planned years in advance? Some analysts think her low profile is her greatest weapon, allowing her to live like royalty without the scrutiny that comes with power. Others say she's simply a woman who escaped a gilded cage and learned how to turn silence into strength. Either way, the legend of Lyudmila Putina continues to grow, a woman who began as a first lady and may now quietly reign as one of the richest, most elusive figures in modern history.